Hello there, and welcome back to Daily Lore with Grandpa Ben. Where Winds Meet drops players into the turbulent Five Dynasties and Ten Kingdoms period of 10th century China, a time when the old order crumbled and new powers rose from the ashes. You take on the role of a young sword master whose mysterious origins become intertwined with the fate of the realm itself. The game combines narrative-driven single-player storytelling with optional multiplayer elements, creating a living world where every choice carries weight and every path leads to discovery. What sets Where Winds Meet apart is its commitment to authenticity, blended seamlessly with fantasy. The developers worked with acclaimed Hong Kong action choreographer Stephen Tung Wai, also known as Wei Tung, whose work includes Kung Fu Killer and Hero, to ensure that every combat animation captures the rhythm and impact of real martial arts. The game uses full-body motion capture with professional martial artists, creating a combat system that feels visceral and cinematically expressive. Whether you're wielding a sword, spear, dual blades, glaive, rope dart, fan, or combat umbrella, each weapon has been meticulously crafted with distinct weight, speed, and feel. The world itself spans over 20 distinct regions across a massive open-world map, featuring dynamic weather systems, day and night cycles, and environmental hazards that demand adaptive strategies. From mist-shrouded mountains to bustling cities modeled after historical scrolls like the Along the River during the Qingming Festival painting, every location pulses with life. The game features thousands of unique non-player characters with their own routines and motivations, creating a world that reacts to your choices and remembers your actions. Where Winds Meet is built on NetEase's proprietary Messiah engine, which provides the technical framework for its open-world systems and cross-platform functionality. The game launched first in China on PC in December 2024, reaching over 3 million downloads within just 4 days. The mobile version followed in January 2025, and the global release on November 14, 2025, brought the game to PlayStation 5, Steam, and the Epic Games Store, with full cross-progression support across all platforms. Within 24 hours of the global launch, the game reached over 2 million players worldwide, and pre-registrations had already exceeded 10 million before release day. The developers at Everstone Studio have created a living world that will continue to grow through seasonal updates, with each season lasting approximately 3 months. Some seasons will advance the core narrative through new regions and characters, while others will introduce new gameplay modes, limited-time events, and enhancements to social features and character progression. All playable in-game content is completely free, with no pay-to-win mechanics, only cosmetic monetization that respects player choice and fairness. The historical canvas, understanding the Five Dynasties and 10 Kingdoms period. To truly appreciate Where Winds Meet, we must first understand the historical period that serves as its foundation. The Five Dynasties and 10 Kingdoms era lasted from 907 to 979 AD, representing one of the most chaotic and transformative periods in Chinese imperial history. This was a time when the Great Tang Dynasty, which had ruled for nearly 3 centuries, finally collapsed under the weight of internal rebellions and warlord conflicts. The period began with the fall of the Tang Dynasty in 907 AD and ended with the founding of the Song Dynasty in 960 AD, though some states resisted unification until 979. During these 7 decades, 5 major dynasties succeeded one another in rapid succession in the central plains of northern China, while more than a dozen concurrent states established themselves elsewhere, primarily in the south. These were the later Leng, later Tang, later Jin, later Han, and later Zhou in the north, while the south saw the rise of kingdoms like Wu, southern Tang, Chu, former Shu, later Shu, Min, northern Han, southern Han, Wuyu, and others. The roots of this upheaval can be traced to the Huang Chao rebellion, which erupted in the late Tang period. Huang Chao, a failed civil service examination candidate turned rebel leader, led an uprising that devastated the Tang administrative apparatus. His forces specifically targeted the imperial bureaucracy, purging officials so extensively that the Tang civil service essentially disappeared, creating widespread social and political chaos. The rebellion also struck at the landed aristocracy in the provinces, the powerful noble families who had provided the backbone of Tang rule and supplied most candidates for the bureaucracy. When the rebellion was finally defeated, the Tang dynasty attempted to restore order by invoking the mandate of heaven, but the political situation had become too unstable. China fragmented into a multi-state system unlike anything seen in centuries. Historians have proposed different models for understanding this period. One framework divides it into 3 stages. The first stage, from 880 to 910, encompasses the period between the Huang Chao rebellion and the formal end of the Tang dynasty, characterized by chaotic fighting between warlords who each controlled approximately 1 or 2 prefectures. The second stage, from 910 to 950, saw these warlords consolidate power and gain enough legitimacy to proclaim new dynasties. The third stage, from 950 to 979, witnessed the forceful reunification of China under the later Zhou dynasty and its successor, the Song dynasty, along with the demilitarization of the provinces. Southern China, divided into several independent dynastic kingdoms, proved more stable than the north, which saw constant regime change. This stability allowed the southern kingdoms to embark on ambitious projects of trade, land reclamation, and infrastructure development, laying crucial groundwork for the economic boom that would characterize the Song dynasty. Commerce grew so rapidly during this period that there was actually a shortage of metallic currency, which led to financial innovations, including bank drafts called flying money and certificates of deposit. Wood block printing became common during this era, a full 500 years before Johannes Gutenberg's press revolutionized Europe. The period was not without its dark aspects. From the viewpoint of the traditional aristocracy, it was indeed chaotic, as they lost their preeminent status along with their large estates, which were typically taken over piecemeal by their former managers. The aristocratic era in Chinese history ended forever, replaced by a new bureaucratic order. The Five Dynasties period also became notorious for judicial abuse and excessive punishment, with the later Han Dynasty earning particular infamy for its use of severe torture and hasty executions. Yet this period also saw remarkable cultural flowering. Art and literature thrived, particularly in the more stable southern kingdoms. The period is noted for the vitality of its poetry and the excellence of its visual arts. Painting masters like Li Cheng and Xu Shi created works that would influence Chinese art for centuries. When the southern Tang kingdom finally surrendered to the Song, its unexcelled royal library was moved north, along with many officials skilled in art, literature, and bibliography. The surrender of Wuyu followed a similar pattern, establishing the lower Yangtze Delta as a center of cultural excellence that would endure through subsequent dynasties. Where Winds Meet captures this era not just as historical backdrop, but as living context. The game's world reflects the tension between disorder and opportunity that defined the period. Players navigate political intrigue, shifting power structures, and the moral ambiguities that arise when an entire social order is in flux. The choice-driven narrative allows you to pursue a righteous path of chivalry, ally with local communities and factions, or embrace chaos and face the consequences. Based on the game's design philosophy, this appears to be a deliberate parallel to the historical period, when individual actions could ripple across the realm and a wandering swordsman might genuinely influence the fate of kingdoms. The developers have woven historical authenticity throughout the game world. The architecture, clothing, and social structures reflect extensive research into the period. The bustling cities feature thousands of non-player characters engaged in realistic daily activities, from merchants haggling in markets to officials conducting government business. The game captures how people actually lived during this tumultuous era, not just the battles and political machinations, but the everyday struggles and small joys that persisted even as dynasties rose and fell. Kaifeng City serves as a prime example of this historical attention. The real Kaifeng would later become the capital of the Northern Song dynasty and one of the largest cities in the world. But during the Five Dynasties period, it was already an important urban center. In the game, Kaifeng is rendered as a dense metropolis with distinct districts, from the elegant velvet shade to the industrious furnace area, from the vibrant fairgrounds to the shadowy ghostlight market. Each area reflects different aspects of urban life in 10th century China, creating a living city that feels authentic to the period while remaining engaging to explore. The game also captures the philosophical and cultural currents of the era. This was a time of Neo-Confucian revival as scholars and officials sought to return to traditional values after the chaos of the late Tang period and the rebellions that followed. Buddhism, which had grown tremendously influential during the Tang dynasty, faced growing rejection as Confucian intellectuals called for a return to native Chinese traditions. These intellectual movements find representation in Where Winds Meet through the various sects and factions players can join, each representing different philosophical approaches to martial arts, governance, and the proper way to live. The period's economic innovations also find representation in the game's complex currency systems. Players navigate multiple forms of money and exchange, which could be seen as reflecting how the real historical period saw the development of increasingly sophisticated financial instruments to support growing trade. The game features Zhu coins for basic transactions, Echo Jade for progression systems, various sect-specific currencies, and special event tokens, a design choice that mirrors how the historical period's economic complexity drove innovation in money and credit. The soul of Wuxia, philosophy, poetry, and martial heroism. At its core, Where Winds Meet is an invitation to experience Wuxia as the developers have always imagined it. To understand what makes this game special, we need to understand what Wuxia truly means and how it differs from related concepts like Kung Fu or martial arts films more broadly. Wuxia is not simply about fighting or displays of physical prowess. It represents a seamless blend of martial excellence, Eastern philosophical depth, and aesthetic elegance. Where traditional Kung Fu emphasizes realistic, disciplined mastery of martial techniques, Wuxia embraces the fantastical, where warriors glide across rooftops, internal energy defies gravity, and even everyday objects transform into instruments of profound beauty and deadly precision. The term Wuxia itself combines two Chinese characters. Wu means martial or military, referring to combat prowess and physical skill. Xia means heroic or chivalrous, referring to moral character and the code of honor that guides a true martial hero. Together, Wuxia describes the wandering martial hero, the swordsman or swordswoman who operates outside formal power structures, guided by personal codes of honor rather than laws or institutional authority. These heroes right wrongs, protect the weak, and pursue justice according to their own understanding of righteousness. Wuxia as a genre is deeply rooted in Chinese literary tradition, with origins stretching back over 1,000 years to Tang Dynasty tales of knight-errant heroes. The genre flourished in popular novels during the Ming and Qing dynasties, with classics like Water Margin and The Book and the Sword establishing many of the tropes and themes that continue to define Wuxia today. In the 20th century, writers like Jin Yong revolutionized the genre with serialized novels that combine thrilling action with sophisticated explorations of philosophy, morality, and human nature. Films like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Hero, House of Flying Daggers, and Red Cliff brought Wuxia to global audiences, showcasing its unique blend of martial artistry and poetic beauty. Where Winds Meet draws from this rich tradition while adapting it to the interactive medium of video games. The developers emphasize that Wuxia is about more than spectacle, though the game certainly delivers on that front. It is about the interplay between individual freedom and societal duty, about moral ambiguity in a world where right and wrong are not always clear, about the philosophical growth that comes through both physical cultivation and ethical challenges. Players assume the role of a young swordsman whose journey to unravel their identity intertwines with the fate of a nation in flux, echoing the narrative structures of classic Wuxia stories. The game's writers draw heavily from Chinese poetry and philosophy, embedding Confucian, Taoist, and Buddhist influences throughout the dialogue and quest design. Each region introduces characters whose personal arcs explore different virtues and philosophical questions. Some quests examine compassion and the duty to help those in need, reflecting Buddhist emphasis on relieving suffering. Others explore restraint and living in harmony with natural order, echoing Taoist principles. Still others grapple with questions of loyalty, propriety, and the proper ordering of society. Drawing from Confucian thought, this philosophical depth extends to the game's approach to player choice and moral alignment. Unlike many Western role-playing games that present clear good and evil paths, Where Winds Meet embraces the moral complexity characteristic of wuxia stories. The choices you make rarely have simple right answers. Helping one faction may inadvertently harm another. Pursuing justice according to your code might put you at odds with local authorities or established sects. The game asks you to think carefully about what it means to be a hero in a fractured world where the old certainties have collapsed and new orders have not yet solidified. The combat system itself embodies Wuxia philosophy. Fights are not simply about defeating opponents, but about demonstrating character through how you fight. The developers collaborated with acclaimed action choreographer Stephen Tung Wai to ensure that combat feels like the elegant, deadly dances seen in classic Wuxia films. Every weapon has its own philosophy, its own approach to conflict. The sword represents directness and honor. The spear combines reach with versatility. Dual blades embody swift, overwhelming aggression. The rope dart requires cunning and unconventional thinking. The fan and umbrella transform seemingly harmless objects into deadly weapons, which reflects wuxia's emphasis on the unexpected and the importance of looking beyond surface appearances. The umbrella deserves special mention as it represents the core of wuxia philosophy better than any other weapon in the game. As lead designer Chris Liu explains, the umbrella embodies reality and fantasy, beauty and danger in one. It can seamlessly switch between roles, serving as a deadly weapon, a reliable shield, a tool for striking with weight and impact, or even a means of floating gracefully above the battlefield before launching attacks from unexpected angles. An umbrella is, in reality, merely shelter from rain, something fragile and domestic, but in the wuxia world of Where Winds Meet, it becomes poetry in lethal motion, a perfect metaphor for how the genre transforms the mundane into the magnificent. This transformation of ordinary objects into martial weapons reflects a deeper wuxia principle. True mastery comes not from relying on obvious tools of war, but from understanding that anything can become a weapon in skilled hands, that the difference between the harmless and the deadly lies not in the object, but in the practitioner's understanding and intent. The game encourages players to experiment with unconventional weapons, to discover that the fan or umbrella can be just as effective as the sword when wielded with skill and understanding. The game's traversal and movement systems also embody wuxia philosophy. Through the art of Qinghe, the lightness skill, you can sprint at incredible speeds, glide through the air, run along walls, and leap across rooftops with supernatural grace. This represents the wuxia concept of internal cultivation, the idea that through proper training and understanding of qi, the vital energy that flows through all things, a martial artist can transcend normal physical limitations. The game presents this not as magic in the Western fantasy sense, but as the natural result of dedicated practice and spiritual cultivation. The various mystic arts you learn throughout the game similarly reflect traditional Chinese concepts of martial and spiritual cultivation. Techniques like Tai Chi allow you to redirect enemy attacks, embodying the Taoist principle of overcoming hardness with softness, of using an opponent's force against them rather than meeting strength with strength. Meridian Touch targets pressure points, reflecting traditional Chinese medicine's understanding of how qi flows through the body. Dragon's Breath channels street performer fire arts into combat, showing how wuxia draws from folk traditions and popular culture as much as from elite martial schools. The sect system in Where Winds Meet provides another avenue for exploring wuxia philosophy. Each sect represents a different approach to martial cultivation and moral living. The Well of Heaven acts like Robin Hood and his merry men, using martial skill to protect the helpless and challenge the privileged. The Silver Needle sect focuses on healing and medicine, embodying the principle that true martial heroes preserve life rather than simply taking it. The Midnight Blades embrace the darker aspects of the martial world, pursuing power through any means necessary. The Mohist sect promotes universal love and mutual benefit, following the ancient philosophy of Mozi. The Raging Tide sect pursues a path of intoxicated abandon, finding truth through excess rather than restraint. These sects are not simply gameplay factions, but philosophical positions, different answers to fundamental questions about how one should live and what martial skill should serve. By choosing a sect or remaining sectless, players are making meaningful statements about their character's worldview and values. The game respects these choices by weaving them throughout quest design and world reactions. Non-player characters remember which sect you belong to and respond accordingly. Some quests become available or unavailable based on your sect affiliation. Your standing within your chosen sect rises or falls based on whether you uphold its principles or violate its rules. This creates a form of ethical gameplay rarely seen in Western role-playing games. Success is not just about defeating enemies or completing objectives, but about living according to principles you have chosen. A member of the Well of Heaven must earn chivalrous deeds and pay sect taxes while avoiding excessive personal wealth and refusing to duel fellow sect members. A follower of the Silver Needle must cure diseases and may demand payment for medical services. A disciple of the Midnight Blades gains standing by defeating other players in combat. A practitioner of the Nine Mortal Ways advances by playing pranks and tricks on others, finding enlightenment through mischief. The game's approach to strength and power similarly reflects Wuxia philosophy. True strength comes not from raw statistics or overpowered equipment, but from understanding martial principles and forging your own path, your own Tao. The internal arts and cultivation systems form a holistic approach to character development that is as much about philosophy as mechanics. Players must balance different aspects of their training, combining weapons mastery with mystic skills, internal cultivation with external techniques, individual prowess with understanding of how to work with allies. Where Winds meets commitment to Wuxia extends even to its storytelling structure. The game features both an overt storyline told through main chapters and a hidden storyline conveyed through fragmented narratives and environmental clues. This dual-layer approach mirrors how classic Wuxia novels often contain multiple interweaving plot threads, some obvious and others revealed gradually through careful attention. The developers promise that clues to deeper mysteries might be found anywhere, from conversations with roadside beggars to books discovered in random rooms, creating a world rich with secrets for attentive players to uncover. Mapping the martial world, regions, locations, and the living landscape. Where Winds Meet presents a meticulously crafted open world that serves as far more than mere backdrop for martial exploits. The game world is a character in its own right, reflecting the historical authenticity and wuxia aesthetics that define the experience. At launch, players can explore two major regions, each subdivided into multiple distinct areas, with the promise of expansion through seasonal content updates. The journey begins in Qinghe, the northern region that serves as your starting area. Qinghe is a land of open plains, quiet villages, and hidden mysteries, a place where wanderers like yourself begin to make their mark on the world. The region is divided into three major sub-regions, each with its own character and challenges. The verdant wilds occupy the eastern portion of Qinghe, a relatively untouched landscape that embodies the natural beauty of 10th century China. The stonewashed strand area within the verdant wilds features conflict-scarred forts, reclaimed structures like the bamboo abode where your character receives early training, and the General's Shrine, a location of significant importance to the early narrative. The Battlecrest Slope bears the scars of past conflicts, its landscape marked by abandoned fortifications and the lingering presence of those battles. Throughout the verdant wilds, you will encounter small settlements where common people try to maintain their lives despite the broader turmoil, creating opportunities for quests that explore themes of community, survival, and the impact of political chaos on ordinary lives. The Moonvale Mountains rise to the west of Qinghe, a dramatic landscape of peaks and valleys that harbors both natural wonders and dangerous secrets. This sub-region contains 15 distinct explorable areas, making it the largest portion of Qinghe. The mountains are home to Blissful Retreat, which becomes the site of one of the game's most memorable early story sequences and boss encounters. The Moonvale Mountains challenge players with their vertical terrain, encouraging mastery of the lightness skills and other traversal abilities. Hidden caves, mountain monasteries, and isolated shrines dot the landscape, each potentially containing martial arts secrets, historical treasures, or fragments of the deeper narrative. Sundara Land occupies the northern reaches of Qinghe, separated from the rest of the region by a river crossing. This rocky terrain is defined by Jadebrook Mountain and features areas like the Flower Expanse and the mysterious Gleaming Abyss. The Witherwilds hide small settlements scattered throughout the landscape, while Riverside Station serves as a waypoint for travelers, both legitimate and otherwise. The area around Halo Peak features several important locations for sect-related quests and martial arts training. Sundara Land offers 11 explorable areas, each contributing to the region's sense of being frontier territory where civilization meets wilderness. Throughout Qinghe, the game emphasizes exploration and discovery. Wayfarers stationed at key locations will unlock portions of the map when you speak with them, revealing the full scope of each area. Boundary stones mark territorial divisions and serve as fast travel points once activated. Oddities, the collectibles that feed into the Melodies of Peace progression system, hide throughout the landscape, often requiring puzzle solving or keen observation to discover. World bosses roam certain areas, presenting significant challenges and valuable rewards. Outposts controlled by bandits or hostile factions can be cleared for resources and to make regions safer for travelers. The level of environmental detail in Qinghe sets the tone for the entire game. Dynamic weather systems cause rain to sweep across plains, mist to shroud mountains, and snow to fall in higher elevations. The day and night cycle affects not just lighting, but also which non-player characters appear in certain locations and what activities become available. Animals behave realistically, with predators hunting prey, herbivores fleeing from threats, and entire ecological chains that players can observe and potentially manipulate. The game even features territorial geese that will aggressively defend their areas, which has led to community discussions about these surprisingly formidable fowl. After completing the first major story chapter, Heaven Has No Peer, and reaching level 32, players unlock access to Kaifeng, the southern region that represents a dramatic shift in scale and atmosphere. Where Qinghe is predominantly rural and wild, Kaifeng is defined by its massive walled city and the surrounding agricultural lands that support it. Kaifeng City itself is a marvel of game design, a dense urban environment with over 10,000 non-player characters, each with their own schedules and behaviors. The city is divided into multiple districts, each with its own character and purpose. The Velvet Shade offers rest and more refined pleasures. Prosperity Haven and the Imperial Artisan Court showcase the wealth and craftsmanship that flourish even in these tumultuous times. The Fairgrounds area pulses with entertainment and social activities, a place where people gather to forget their troubles. The Furnace area demonstrates the hard work required to keep a city functioning, with blacksmiths, craftspeople, and laborers plying their trades. The Ghostlight Market and Unbound Cavern represent the city's darker underbelly, where illegal trades occur and secrets are bought and sold. How you first experience Kaifeng City depends on the path that brought you there. The city has entrances on multiple sides, and the events leading to your arrival will determine which gate you use and thus how you first perceive the metropolis. This attention to narrative flow and player agency ensures that even arriving at a major location feels personal rather than scripted. Beyond the city walls lies the Granary of Plenty sub-region, the agricultural heartland that feeds Kaifeng. The marsh of Mistvale Forest and the rolling hills of Plainfield reflect the hard work required to maintain the ever-normal granary, a massive storage facility that powers the entire region. Gracetown represents prosperity and hope, a sign that stability can emerge even in chaotic times. Yet this area also contains reminders of how fragile that stability is. The Stillheart Grove is flanked by the abandoned Mercy Hall and Desperation Ridge, locations that speak to hardship and loss. The Granary of Plenty subregion includes 10 explorable areas, each contributing to an understanding of how civilization sustains itself through agriculture and organization. The third Kaifeng subregion, Jadewood Court, adds another 10 areas to explore. This region showcases the diversity of the Kaifeng area, from bustling commercial zones to quieter residential neighborhoods, from administrative centers to recreational areas. The subregion emphasizes the complexity of urban and peri-urban life in 10th century China, showing how different social classes, professions, and communities coexist and interact. Throughout both Qinghe and Kaifeng, the game world is filled with points of interest that reward thorough exploration. Chests containing equipment, resources, and cosmetic items are hidden throughout the landscape, often requiring clever use of traversal skills or solving environmental puzzles to reach. Mystic art locations teach powerful new abilities, frequently through mini-games where you observe masters practicing their techniques and must time your inputs correctly to learn through imitation. Camps and outposts can be cleared for rewards and to improve regional safety. The game features extensive social and entertainment activities woven into the world. Graceful melody locations offer rhythm mini-games where you perform music for rewards, testing your timing and rhythm. Archery contests challenge your accuracy with the bow as you shoot moving targets. Healer healing mini-games put your medical knowledge to the test as you diagnose and treat ailments. Pitch pot games, a traditional Chinese pastime involving throwing arrows into pots, appear throughout towns and cities. These activities serve both as gameplay variety and as cultural education, introducing players to the leisure activities and entertainment that people actually enjoyed during this historical period. Non-player character interactions add tremendous depth to the world. Some non-player characters offer traditional dialogue trees with fixed responses, providing quests, lore, and services. Others are powered by artificial intelligence chat systems, allowing for more dynamic conversations where the non-player character responds contextually to what you say. Building friendship with these characters through repeated positive interactions unlocks rewards and sometimes romantic relationships. The game features a 10-level friendship system, from acquainted at level 1 through vowed at level 10, with each level offering new dialogue options and potential benefits. Environmental storytelling pervades every region. Abandoned battlefields still show signs of the conflicts that occurred there. Ruined temples hint at religious persecution or neglect. Prosperous villages demonstrate what stability can achieve, while struggling hamlets show the cost of unending warfare. The world feels lived in, as though it existed before you arrived and will continue after you leave, rather than simply serving as a stage for your adventures. The promise of seasonal expansions means this world will continue to grow. New regions will be added with their own distinct geography, culture, and challenges. The developers have indicated that future seasons will sometimes focus on advancing the main narrative through new areas, while other seasons will enhance existing regions with new activities, events, and systems. This living world approach ensures that the landscape of Where Winds Meet will evolve alongside the player community. Art, the art of combat, weapons, martial arts, and the dance of battle, combat in Where Winds Meet stands as one of the game's defining features, a system designed to capture the elegance, intensity, and philosophical depth of Wuxia martial arts while remaining accessible and engaging for players. The developers emphasize that this is not a button-mashing experience, but a combat system that rewards deliberate action, careful observation, and thoughtful decision-making. At launch, 7 primary weapon types are available, each meticulously crafted through motion capture sessions with professional martial artists and choreographed by acclaimed action choreographer Stephen Tung Wai. Every weapon type has distinct weight, speed, attack animations, and strategic applications. Players can equip 2 weapons simultaneously and switch between them mid-combat, creating opportunities for devastating combos and tactical adaptation. The sword represents the classic Wuxia weapon, embodying honor, directness, and technical mastery. Swords in the game come with different martial arts paths that dramatically alter how they function. The Nameless Sword follows the Bell Strike Splendor path, focusing on mobility and charged attacks that excel against bosses and in single-target situations. The Strategic Sword walks the Bell Strike Umbra path, inflicting bleeding effects that drain enemy health over time rather than delivering burst damage. These two approaches to sword fighting demonstrate how the martial arts system creates meaningful variety, even within a single weapon category. The spear offers reach and versatility, allowing you to control space and strike from relative safety. Multiple martial arts paths transform the spear into radically different weapons tactically. The Nameless Spear mirrors its sword counterpart in the Bell Strike Splendor path, emphasizing mobility and charged attacks. The Heaven Quaker Spear and Stonebreaker Spear follow the Stone Split Might path, which prioritizes survivability through damage reduction, resistance to immobilization, and shield generation, while also excelling at hitting multiple targets with area of effect damage. The diverse spear techniques show how a single weapon type can serve completely different combat roles depending on the martial art practiced. Dual blades, specifically the Infernal Twin Blades, follow the Bamboo Cut Wind path, which focuses on overwhelming opponents with rapid consecutive attacks. This martial art provides strong damage per second output and very high mobility, creating a play style built around constant aggression and momentum. The trade-off is minimal survivability attributes, as the path depends on keeping enemies off balance through relentless assault. Players who favor dual blades must master the rhythm of combat, knowing when to press the attack and when to momentarily disengage before diving back in. The rope dart represents one of the most unconventional weapons in the game, the Mortal Rope Dart following the Bamboo Cut Wind path, similar to the dual blades. This weapon requires cunning and adaptability, rewarding players who can think creatively and strike from unexpected angles. The rope dart is particularly associated with the 9 Mortal Ways sect, which values trickery and mischief, making this weapon choice as much a philosophical statement as a tactical one. The glaive offers yet another distinct combat experience. While the community is still exploring the full depth of this weapon's capabilities, it appears to combine heavy striking power with reach, creating a playstyle that balances the spear's range with more devastating individual strikes. The fan transforms a symbol of refinement and culture into a deadly weapon, embodying Wuxia's principle that anything can become lethal in skilled hands. 2 fan variants showcase this weapon's versatility. The Panacea fan follows the Silkbind Deluge path, a fully supportive martial art focused on healing yourself and allies while providing damage bonuses. This makes the Panacea fan essential for players who want to pursue healer roles, particularly valuable in cooperative play and for surviving difficult solo encounters. The Inkwell fan takes a different approach, focusing on ranged attacks while maintaining the fan's supportive capabilities. The fan demonstrates how Where Winds Meet creates meaningful choices between weapons that serve similar functions but approach them from different philosophical and practical angles. The umbrella represents the ultimate expression of Wuxia philosophy in weapon form. As discussed earlier, the umbrella embodies the genre's blend of reality and fantasy, beauty and danger. In practical terms, the Vernal Umbrella offers both offensive and defensive capabilities, able to block attacks while remaining capable of delivering powerful strikes. The umbrella can be used to float above the battlefield, providing aerial maneuverability before launching devastating attacks from unexpected angles. Its inclusion challenges player expectations and invites experimentation with unconventional tactics. The bow serves as a secondary weapon available to all players, regardless of primary weapon choice. Archery provides range damage options and the ability to engage enemies before they close to melee range. The Still Waters Mystic Art, unlocked early in the game, allows you to slow time while aiming, making it easier to land precise shots on distant or moving targets. While the bow lacks the special skills and martial arts depth of primary weapons, it fills an important tactical niche and rewards players who develop their archery skills. Beyond weapon choice, the martial arts system creates further depth through its path and role mechanics. Each martial art belongs to a specific path, and some path benefits persist even when you switch weapons. enabling synergistic builds that reward thoughtful combinations. For example, pairing two martial arts from the same path creates natural synergies, as passive effects and combat resources carry over when you swap weapons mid-fight. The combat mechanics themselves center on three defensive options that every player must master. Blocking reduces incoming damage but does not eliminate it entirely, providing basic protection but requiring supplementation with other defensive techniques. Dodging consumes stamina to provide invincibility frames during the animation, completely negating damage when timed correctly. Perfect dodges trigger time dilation effects on lower difficulties, giving you positioning advantages and opportunities to counterattack. Parrying represents the most powerful defensive option, requiring precise timing to execute, but offering the greatest rewards when successful. Understanding attack types is crucial for defensive mastery. Normal attacks can be blocked, dodged, or parried. Red attacks cannot be blocked but can be parried, with successful parries interrupting the attack sequence and leaving enemies vulnerable. Yellow attacks cannot be blocked or parried and must be dodged, often indicating grab attempts or other high-threat moves that punish passive defense. Learning to recognize these attack types through visual and audio cues separates skilled players from those who struggle. The combat system includes numerous advanced techniques that become essential for higher difficulty encounters. Animation canceling allows you to interrupt your own attack animations by pressing the parry button, enabling more intricate combos and defensive reactions. This technique becomes particularly important in player versus player combat, where adaptability determines victory. Special skills activate based on enemy types and positioning, such as stealing shields from shield-bearing enemies and throwing them back for massive damage. Watching for skill highlights during combat alerts you to these situational opportunities. The execute mechanic rewards aggressive play and smart timing. When you deplete an enemy's posture or reduce their health sufficiently, an execute prompt appears. Veteran players recommend delaying the execute until the timer nearly expires, continuing to deal regular damage before triggering the finishing move, maximizing total damage output. This creates interesting risk-reward decisions, as waiting too long risks losing the execute opportunity entirely. Weapon skills add another layer to combat. Each weapon features two primary abilities mapped to specific keys, often requiring successive inputs to unleash their full potential. The Nameless Sword's grab ability can interrupt enemy attacks and create openings. The Dual Blade Spinning Dash skill provides mobility while dealing damage. The Spear's various skills, depending on martial art, can control space, generate shields, or unleash area damage. Mastering these weapon-specific skills and understanding how they complement your chosen martial art defines effective play. Inner ways function as powerful passive abilities that only activate during combat. Some inner ways are tied to specific martial arts and weapons, providing bonuses that enhance particular play styles. Others work regardless of equipment, offering more general benefits like increased damage, improved defense, or enhanced resource generation. Choosing inner ways that synergize with your weapons and martial arts significantly impacts your effectiveness, making the selection process another important layer of character building. The Qi system underlies many combat mechanics, representing your stamina and energy for special techniques. Qi depletes when you dodge, sprint, or use certain abilities, and managing it effectively prevents you from being left vulnerable at critical moments. Some martial arts and inner ways affect Qi generation or consumption, creating builds that revolve around Qi management and allowing for sustained use of powerful abilities. Difficulty settings dramatically alter the combat experience. Easy mode provides a gentler introduction, while recommended offers balanced challenge for most players. Hard increases enemy damage and aggression, demanding better defensive technique. Extreme difficulty removes certain assist features like perfect dodge time dilation and requires near-perfect execution to survive. Hardcore mode adds permadeath, making every combat encounter potentially character-ending. The game allows difficulty adjustment downward but not upward, so starting on Extreme demonstrates commitment and unlocks special cosmetic rewards. Deflection Assist provides an accessibility option that helps with parry timing, making combat more forgiving for players who prefer story and exploration over intensive combat challenge. The game respects that different players want different experiences, allowing those who want Wuxia spectacle without extreme difficulty to still enjoy the world and narrative. Boss encounters represent the pinnacle of combat design, testing everything you have learned. Bosses like Qianye showcase the system's depth, with multiple phases, complex attack patterns requiring different defensive responses, and mechanics that demand both offensive pressure and careful defensive timing. Learning boss movesets, recognizing when to use Meridian Touch to interrupt powerful attacks, and maintaining aggression while staying safe creates intense, satisfying encounters that capture the feeling of dramatic Wuxia duels. The combat philosophy emphasizes movement and mindfulness over raw statistics or perfect builds. Players who approach fights carefully, who treat combat as a dance requiring rhythm and awareness rather than just a damage race, will find greater success and more satisfaction. This reflects Wuxia's emphasis on technique, philosophy, and the martial artist's state of mind being as important as their physical capabilities. Where Winds meets character progression extends far beyond simple leveling and equipment upgrades. The game features intricate systems of cultivation and mystical development that reflect traditional Chinese concepts of martial and spiritual growth. Understanding these systems is essential for creating powerful characters and experiencing the full depth of what the game offers. Mystic arts, also called mystic skills, form the foundation of your supernatural abilities. These skills divide into 3 categories, each serving different functions and gameplay purposes. Offensive mystic arts are designed primarily for combat use, though many also assist with exploration and puzzle solving. You can equip up to 8 offensive mystic arts simultaneously, divided between 2 rows of 4 skills each. This allows you to dedicate one row to combat-focused abilities while reserving the other for exploration and puzzle-solving techniques, seamlessly switching between configurations as needed. General mystic arts encompass skills that don't fit neatly into offensive or movement categories. These include defensive techniques, awareness abilities, and counter mechanics. Star Shift and Touch of Death stand out as the only upgradable general mystic arts, each using special resources and serving unique functions. Star Shift increases your insight, a resource displayed as divisions under your chi bar that determines how many assisted parries you can perform. Upgrading Star Shift adds more divisions to the insight meter, allowing more defensive actions before the resource depletes. Touch of Death functions as a stealth assassination technique, dealing massive damage to unaware targets. Upgrading Touch of Death increases its damage, allowing you to eliminate enemies with larger health pools silently. Movement Mystic Arts revolutionize traversal and exploration, granting supernatural mobility that embodies the Wuxia concept of Qinghe, or lightness skill. These abilities subdivide into lightness skills, wall run skills, movement skills, and diving skills. Lightness skills like Cloud Leap and Cloud Glide allow you to move through the air with grace and control, reaching areas that would otherwise be inaccessible. Wall run abilities let you sprint up vertical surfaces and leap between walls. Movement skills include threefold Skywalk for triple jumps, Skywalk Dash for air and ground dashing, and Mighty Drop for powerful descending strikes. The Abyss Dive skill allows deep underwater exploration, though you must manage your air meter to avoid drowning. Unlocking offensive mystic arts requires exploration and engagement with the world. Many are discovered through timing comprehension minigames, where you observe animals or people practicing the technique and must interact at precisely the right moments, indicated by golden rings. Successfully completing these observation challenges grants you the mystic art. Other offensive mystic arts come as rewards from side quests, typically involving helping specific characters or resolving particular situations. The game marks mystic art locations on your map when you select them in the menu and choose how to learn, guiding you to the appropriate minigame or quest. Several mystic arts stand out as particularly valuable for early acquisition. Tai Chi likely becomes your first mystic skill, learned during the prologue through the bear encounter that introduces skill theft mechanics. This versatile technique lets you grab enemies or objects and hurl them, useful both in combat for controlling positioning and outside combat for interacting with the environment. Tai Chi embodies the Taoist principle of redirecting force, turning enemy aggression back against them. Meridian Touch provides ranged immobilization, stopping enemies in their tracks from considerable distance. This pressure point technique creates opportunities for combos, helps you escape overwhelming situations, and interacts with non-player characters in unique ways. You encounter Meridian Touch on the road back to Heaven's Pier at Stonewash Strand, where people have been turned to stone. Speaking with Jan Quirin and using Immobilize returns him to normal, teaching you the technique in the process. Cloud Steps revolutionizes traversal by allowing instant teleportation to marked locations. This skill targets specific spots with visual markers, letting you close gaps quickly or escape danger. In combat, you can leap over enemies and deliver powerful shoulder strikes that drain their chi gauge significantly. Cloud Steps is acquired at General Shrine through the hidden path beneath the cracked stone pavement, accessed using Mighty Drop to reveal the passage, then burning shrubbery with fire arrows to reach the skill book. Leaping Toad provides a mobility-focused combat tool, letting you flip over enemies and lunge forward. Using the skill twice consecutively applies Venom, creating damage over time effects that continue hurting enemies after you disengage. This mystic art comes from finding the Gold Toad, a person in a frog pose at General's Shrine, then using skill theft on the Golden Toad nearby. Lion's Roar delivers a dramatic area of effect attack inspired by Kung Fu cinema, particularly Kung Fu Hustle. You summon a massive bell, lift it, and unleash a thunderous sonic blast that damages and pushes away all nearby enemies. Unlocking Lion's Roar requires ringing 4 copper bells scattered across Qinghe in specific locations, completing a treasure hunt that rewards thorough exploration. Ghost Bind represents advanced crowd control, immobilizing up to 6 enemies simultaneously for 15 seconds. This powerful technique requires reaching Kaifeng and completing the Unwanted Hospitality quest in the Forsaken Quarter, where a mysterious guest teaches you through window conversation before requesting practical demonstration on nearby guards. The quest conclusion showcases Ghost Bind's potential for creative problem-solving beyond pure combat. Dragon's Breath channels street performer fire arts into devastating combat application fueled by alcohol to create wide fire arcs that ignite multiple enemies. This skill is found in Kaifeng's Fairground District at the Beast Reverie Building, combining spectacle with practical damage output. Veil of Stillness serves as a stealth tool, cloaking your presence enough to slip into restricted areas, though it cannot withstand direct combat and does not provide complete invisibility. After reaching level 8, travel to Peace Bell Tower in Qinghe, where Chu Yuhai appears near a martial artist you can spy on to steal the technique. Heavenly Snatch acts as a utility skill for retrieving distant treasures and objects, eliminating the need to traverse difficult terrain to collect certain items. This technique combines exploration utility with quality of life improvement. Blinding Mist helps with stealth and combat by obscuring enemy vision, creating opportunities for repositioning or escape. The mist effect can be particularly useful in situations where you are outnumbered or need to break line of sight. Flaming Meteor delivers explosive area damage, ideal for dealing with groups of enemies or breaking through tough defenses. The dramatic visual effect reinforces the Wuxia aesthetic while providing practical combat power. Firefly Lamp serves purely as a utility skill, illuminating dark caves with a swarm of fireflies. You unlock this at the Gleaming Abyss entrance by using Meridian Touch to freeze 2 non-player characters by the sealed stone door, then collecting 5 wandering fireflies inside. Mystic Arts upgrade through a tier and rank system using Ebon Iron of different levels along with specific breakthrough materials. Tier 1 skills can be upgraded to rank 9, after which they promote to Tier 2 rank 0. Upgrades continue through Tier 4 rank 9, with each tier requiring increasingly rare materials. Different mystic arts may require specific breakthrough materials beyond ebon iron, like Buddha's tear root for flaming meteor or vicious fruit for blinding mist. The Melodies of Peace system provides another crucial progression path tied directly to exploration and collection. This system revolves around oddities, collectibles scattered throughout the world that the game later categorizes as regional life materials. Early in Qinghe, you encounter Qianye, an oddity collector who becomes the foundation of the Melodies of Peace progression tree. Melodies of Peace increases your maximum health, unlocks additional mystic art equipment slots, and grants various passive bonuses. The system uses oddities as its exclusive currency, completely separate from coins, echo jade, or other resources. Each region has its own set of life materials that feed into region-specific Melodies of Peace branches. Qinghe features Shadow Gaze for spotting hidden glyph oddities, Qi Sensing for Qi Shroud collectibles, Pounce Rhythm for chase oddities, Whistle Summon for hidden beast collection, and Water Pulse for pond ripple oddities. Kaifeng adds 5 new life material types with their own mini-games and collection methods. The progression is linear, but includes branch points where you choose between different bonuses, such as raw health increases versus passive utility nodes. Completing the Melodies of Peace tree significantly impacts your survivability and versatility, making oddity collection worthwhile despite its optional nature. The system creates a direct link between exploration thoroughness and character power, rewarding players who take time to fully explore regions. Inner ways function as powerful passive abilities that modify and enhance your combat capabilities. Some inner ways are tied to specific martial arts and only function when using particular weapons, providing bonuses that make those fighting styles more effective. Universal inner ways work regardless of equipment, offering benefits like increased damage output, improved defensive capabilities, or enhanced resource generation. Choosing inner ways that synergize with your weapons, martial arts, and mystic arts creates cohesive builds that are greater than the sum of their parts. The cultivation philosophy underlying these systems reflects traditional Chinese martial arts concepts. Progression is not just about becoming statistically stronger, but about deepening your understanding, mastering new techniques, and achieving balance between different aspects of development. A character with high-level weapons but neglected mystic arts will struggle against challenges that require versatility. Similarly, focusing purely on offensive power while ignoring defensive techniques and health increases creates a fragile warrior who cannot withstand sustained challenges. The game encourages experimentation and adaptation. Mystic art slots allow you to swap between different configurations for different situations, trying various combinations to discover what works best for your playstyle. Inner ways can be changed to match new equipment or adapt to different content types. The Melodies of Peace upgrades provide permanent increases that benefit all playstyles. This cultivation system embodies the Wuxia concept of internal and external practice. External practice involves weapon mastery and martial arts techniques, the visible demonstration of skill. Internal practice involves Qi cultivation, developing inner power, and achieving enlightenment about martial principles. Where Winds Meet asks players to engage with both aspects, creating characters who are not just powerful, but well-rounded, not just skilled, but philosophically grounded in their approach to combat and challenge. Paths of honor, sects, factions, and philosophical allegiances. The sect system in Where Winds Meet provides one of the game's most distinctive features, offering far more than simple factional reputation grinds. Each sect represents a complete philosophical worldview, a different answer to fundamental questions about how one should live and what martial skills should serve. Choosing a sect or remaining sectless shapes your character's identity, affects how the world responds to you, and creates gameplay experiences aligned with your chosen principles. At launch, 8 sects are available, though not all are immediately joinable. Each sect features unique precepts you must follow to maintain good standing, special shops selling exclusive items, distinctive cosmetics, and associated martial arts. Joining a sect grants immediate benefits including the sect's martial arts and a matching weapon, but also commits you to upholding their rules. Violating sect precepts decreases your standing, while living according to their principles increases your merit and unlocks rewards. The Well of Heaven embodies the classical Robin Hood archetype, using martial skill to protect the helpless and challenge the privileged. Members pursue chivalry without aligning to state or elite interests. Precepts include the unrestrained spirit, allowing the sect to deduct precept points as needed, and generous and righteous, which penalizes members whose weekly earnings become excessive. Well of Heaven disciples earn merit through chivalrous deeds, must pay regular sect taxes, and are forbidden from dueling fellow members. The sect specializes in the Thundercry Blade, rewarding players who want to be heroes in the most straightforward sense. The Silver Needle sect focuses entirely on healing, supporting, and gaining reputation through helping others. This is the sect for dedicated healer builds, less about fighting and more about being the reliable physician everyone depends on. Members must cure at least 10 diseases per week and may demand payment for medical services, creating an interesting balance between altruism and pragmatism. The Panacea fan serves as the sect's signature weapon, making this the natural home for support-focused players. Joining requires reaching Healer Initiate profession level and understanding healing basics, then traveling to Moonvale Mountain in Qinghe to speak with Dr. Yuan at Sage's Knoll and passing the 3-question test. The Midnight Blades represent the aggressive path, the sect for players who enjoy player versus player combat and do not shy from chaotic karma. This is the No Mercy path, rewarding members for duels, hunting other players, and stacking kills. The sect attracts those who want constant fights and view combat prowess as the ultimate virtue. To join, travel to Halo Peak in Sundara Land in Qinghe and search for the novice monk muttering cryptic phrases about sins and wayfarers. The 9 Mortal Ways sect involves trickery, pranks, and deception. Members gain standing by playing tricks on others, with signature pranks including sending red envelopes that cause recipients to lose money when opened rather than receive it. The Mortal Rope Dart serves as this sect's weapon, fitting their unconventional approach. Members lose points for failed tricks or receiving jail time, encouraging clever execution of schemes. This sect appeals to players who want to find enlightenment through mischief rather than straightforward heroism. The Li Wan troop takes the opposite approach from combat-focused sects, emphasizing enjoyment of life, music, and dance, while foregoing martial violence. Members of this wanderer sect embrace taking life slow and appreciating beauty. The precepts and martial focus remain somewhat mysterious, as this sect prioritizes cultural pursuits over traditional warrior paths. The Floral Reverie, also called the Velvet Shade in some sources, encourages members to marry as many players as possible, with each marriage granting merit points. Divorces penalize standing, creating interesting social dynamics. The sect celebrates indulgence and hedonism, finding truth through pleasure and companionship. Members follow precepts like Full Bloom, Vermilion Lips, and Drunk on Flowers, each encouraging different aspects of revelry and emotional connection. The Lone Cloud sect represents strategic mastery and calculation, following logic and mathematics to develop sword arts that supposedly cannot be evaded and can sever the threads of fate itself. This appeals to players who appreciate tactical thinking and precise execution. The sect values monogamy in contrast to the Floral Reverie, punishing divorces while rewarding stable partnerships. Details about joining remain limited, as the sect is not yet widely accessible. The Raging Tide sect bases its entire philosophy on staying drunk and getting into as many fights as possible. Members receive buffs while intoxicated, but suffer debuffs when sober, creating a playstyle built around managing your character's inebriation. The Heaven Quaker and Stonebreaker spears serve as this sect's weapons, combining the survivability of the Stone Split Might martial path with the sect's chaotic energy. Additional sects exist in the game but remain less understood. The Inkbound Order treasures knowledge, writing, and recorded wisdom, treating written words as binding principles that shape reality. The Mohist Hill promotes universal love, selflessness, and mutual benefit, following ancient philosophical traditions that value collective well-being over personal desire. The Masked Troop, the Iron Regiment, and potentially others await discovery by the community as players explore the world and uncover their secrets. Joining a sect requires finding clues through exploration and NPC interactions, piecing together hints about where sect leaders can be found. The Fellowship Sect menu aggregates these clues, offering guidance about where to search. Once you locate a sect leader, you must complete a trial quest, a rite of passage that tests whether you embody the sect's values. Your decisions during other quests and your general behavior may influence how easily you gain sect entry, as some sects track whether your actions align with their principles. Importantly, you can only belong to one sect at a time. Leaving a sect requires completing a severance trial and may create enemies, or require approval from members before you can rejoin later. Switching sects resets all progress in your previous sect, including rank and merit, and may trigger bounties that allow other players to hunt you. These consequences ensure sect membership feels meaningful rather than easily reversible. Remaining sectless is a completely viable choice that offers its own benefits. Sectless characters maintain complete freedom, unbound by any precepts or restrictions on behavior. You can explore all play styles without worrying about violating sect rules. The trade-off is increased costs for learning martial arts and no access to sect shops or exclusive cosmetics. However, sectless characters can still acquire martial arts through skill theft, sneaking into hideouts and stealing techniques directly from masters. Some skills are much harder to acquire this way, but the freedom may be worth it for players who want maximum flexibility. The sect system creates ethical gameplay that extends beyond simple good versus evil choices. Success involves living according to principles you have chosen, maintaining consistency between your philosophical position and your actions. A Well of Heaven member who hoards wealth or refuses to help the oppressed will see their standing fall. A Silver Needle disciple who neglects healing opportunities loses merit. A Nine Mortal Ways trickster who gets caught too often faces consequences. The game respects these commitments by weaving them throughout quest design and world reactions. Commands serve as sect-specific errands that grant item rewards and reputation points. Completing commands increases your rank within the sect, unlocking more items in the sect shop. A weekly cap of 1,200 reputation points from commands prevents excessive grinding while ensuring consistent progress for active members. Other rewards from commands are not affected by this limit. Sect Merit, a separate progression track, increases the amount of reputation gained from completing errands, creating a positive feedback loop where dedicated members progress faster. The merit system rewards both time investment and adherence to sect principles, as living according to precepts increases merit while violations decrease it. The integration of sects into the broader game systems creates meaningful choices at multiple levels. Which sect you join influences which martial arts you can easily access, though skill theft provides alternatives. Your sect affects how NPCs react to you, opening some quest opportunities while closing others. Sect membership shapes multiplayer interactions, as members of opposed sects may be encouraged to duel, while allied sects might cooperate. The precepts create playstyle constraints that make each sect feel genuinely different, not just cosmetically distinct. This philosophical approach to factions reflects Wuxia's emphasis on individual codes of honor and the many different paths to enlightenment or mastery. There is no objectively best sect, only the sect that best fits your values and preferred playstyle. A healer main will thrive in Silver Needle while struggling in Midnight Blades. A dedicated duelist will find purpose in Midnight Blades but be constrained by Silver Needle. A trickster belongs in Nine Mortal Ways while a straightforward hero fits Well of Heaven. The sect system, combined with weapon choices, martial arts selection, mystic skill loadouts, and inner ways configuration, creates tremendous build diversity. Two players who have reached the same level and completed the same content can have completely different characters based on the choices they made. This depth ensures that Where Winds Meet offers substantial replay value, as different sect paths and martial philosophies create genuinely distinct experiences. Narrative threads, story structure, characters, and the weight of choice. Where Winds Meet weaves its narrative through multiple interlocking systems, creating a story that is simultaneously personal and epic, intimate and sweeping. The game features what developers describe as dual storylines. The overt storyline, told through main chapter quests, follows your hero's personal journey, charting growth from mysterious orphan to legendary figure. The hidden storyline emerges through fragmented narratives, with clues scattered across environmental details, random conversations, and seemingly minor quests. Both layers combine to create an immersive Wuxia experience, where perhaps a roadside beggar or a random book in a room provides crucial information about your identity or reveals massive conspiracies involving the imperial court. The story begins with the prologue, which establishes your character's background and mysterious origins. The opening cinematic places you in the role of Jiang, who carries a small infant through dangerous circumstances. This sequence introduces basic combat mechanics, using bow and sword against pursuers. Time jumps forward, showing the infant growing into a young child, then jumping again to character creation, where you determine the appearance and name of that infant, now grown into the protagonist. After character creation, you choose an aspiration talent. Drunken Precision helps with the pitch pot minigame by granting the tipsy effect to shorten aim time. Rhetoric Edge provides bonus inspiration in the Gift of Gab social encounters. These seemingly small choices foreshadow the game's emphasis on player agency and the many different paths available beyond pure combat prowess. The prologue teaches traversal and combat fundamentals while establishing the tone of personal mystery surrounding your origins. You learn that your past is hidden, that forces conspired to endanger you as an infant, and that your guardian Jiang made sacrifices to ensure your survival. These revelations create investment in uncovering the truth while establishing the Wuxia theme of individual heroes caught up in larger forces beyond their full understanding. The first major chapter, Heaven Has No Peer, unfolds across Qinghe and serves as both introduction to the world and origin story for your legend. The chapter takes you through varied experiences designed to showcase the game's systems and depth. You participate in arena tournaments, encountering characters like Fang Shu, who become sparring partners and potential rivals or allies. You meet Old Jin, who turns out to be a swindler, teaching early lessons about trust and appearances in a chaotic world. The chapter builds toward confronting Qianye at Blissful Retreat, a battle that serves as the first major test of everything you have learned. Qianye stands as one of the game's most memorable antagonists, a mysterious figure associated with the Aureate Pavilion, whose defining trait is perfect disguise. No one knows when Qianye first appeared in the martial world or why she works for the Aureate Pavilion. Her mastery of disguise stems from such deep insight into human nature that she can convincingly become anyone around you, including someone you love, without revealing her true self. Some people adore her like a reflection in water, beautiful but untouchable. Others despise her like dreams that vanish in morning. Cold moon, cold heart, 1,000 nights, and not a soul has seen the real her. The battle against Qianye tests all your skills, featuring multiple phases with dramatically different mechanics. Phase 1 resembles the earlier Heartseeker boss fight with wide sweeping scythe attacks and overhead swings that must be carefully timed to parry or dodge. When she perches on roofs to throw her scythe and dive at you, using Meridian Touch cancels the slam entirely and knocks her down, creating openings for burst damage. Phase 2 sends you to a mirror dimension where you face Qianye's powered-up form. She uses ranged wave attacks that cannot be parried and must be sidestepped, along with teleporting shadow attacks where she vanishes and reappears from unexpected angles. The encounter teaches you to watch for visual cues, particularly camera angle shifts that indicate incoming teleport strikes. Her disabling strike immobilizes you while sending spectral versions to attack, requiring perfect defensive timing to avoid skill lockout. The ghostly grab combo ends in a devastating grab if the second slash connects, with the entire sequence glowing yellow to indicate you cannot block or parry, only dodge. Around 75% health in Phase 2, Qianye swaps with her reflection to assume a white form that begins constantly draining your health. This creates pressure to end the fight quickly while maintaining defensive discipline, as aggressive play without proper timing leads to death. Deflecting her attacks and maintaining offense recovers health to counteract the drain, and healing arts like the Panacea Fan become invaluable. Defeating Qianye for the first time grants substantial rewards including Echo Jade, Zhu Coin, character experience, enlightenment points, specific items like Echoes of Oblivion Tome and Ferrying Mortality, and the Clip-Clop Horse Mount. Her campaign version becomes a repeatable challenge where you can spend energy points to earn additional rewards that scale with world level, making her an important farming target for dedicated players. Beyond serving as a challenging boss encounter, Qianye represents themes central to Wuxia storytelling. Her perfect disguises speak to questions of identity and the masks people wear. Her inscrutability reflects the mystery at the heart of many Wuxia narratives, where true motives and allegiances remain hidden beneath layers of deception. The fact that her true self remains unknown even after you defeat her emphasizes that some mysteries may never be fully solved, some people never fully understood. Other significant characters emerge through the narrative. Nan Zhu appears as a shadowy strategist, a pivotal figure whose presence has long been sensed but never clearly seen. The game's preview materials describe him as a mysterious manipulator looming behind the scenes, and your first encounter unfolds as a dangerous game of wits and tension, with every word weaving traps and murderous intent lurking at every turn. Characters like Qianye, Ye Wanshan the Dao Lord, the Void King Murongyan, Zheng Di, and the God of Avarice are mentioned in promotional materials, suggesting an extensive cast of allies, rivals, and enigmatic figures whose stories interweave with your own. The main story continues beyond Heaven Has No Peer with the second chapter, Universal Furnace, though details about this chapter remain limited as it represents content added after global launch. The chapter structure allows the developers to release story content episodically, building anticipation while giving players time to fully explore each region and complete side content before the narrative pushes forward. Side content proves just as important as main quests for understanding the world and your place in it. The game features multiple quest categories. Exploration quests reward investigating points of interest and uncovering secrets hidden throughout the landscape. Encounter quests trigger when you find specific NPCs or stumble into certain situations, often providing glimpses into the lives of ordinary people affected by the era's chaos. Injustice quests task you with addressing wrongs and helping the oppressed, reinforcing heroic themes. Lost chapter quests uncover fragments of forgotten history or personal stories. Jianghu legacy quests connect to the broader martial world and its traditions. Side stories provide character development and world building, sometimes rivaling main quests in scope and impact. The dual-layer storytelling approach means attentive players discover far more than those who rush through main quests. Environmental storytelling surrounds you constantly. A seemingly random beggar might provide crucial clues if you take time to speak with them. Books found in homes or libraries can reveal historical context, character backstories, or hints about hidden locations. Conversations with NPCs powered by AI systems can take unexpected directions, revealing information the speakers might not share through scripted dialogue trees. Player choice shapes not just how you experience the story, but how the world perceives and responds to you. The reputation system tracks your actions, with NPCs remembering whether you helped or harmed them, whether you kept promises or betrayed trust. Your moral alignment affects which quests become available and how people react when you approach. Play as a righteous hero, and communities will welcome you. Offer quests involving helping people and defending the weak. Embrace chaos and you face bounties, law enforcement, even imprisonment, though these consequences create their own gameplay opportunities, including prison breaks where allies fight guards to free you. The game implements a crime system where illegal actions, like theft or killing innocent NPCs, result in consequences. Get caught, and you go to jail, where you can either pay bail or wait for friends to organize a prison break. This creates emergent storytelling moments and reinforces that actions have weight in this world. Your sect affiliation also affects story options, as some quests may only be available to members of specific sects, while others become locked based on your allegiance. Marriage and social relationship systems add another narrative layer. You can romance and marry other players, with some sects like Floral Reverie encouraging multiple marriages, while others like Lone Cloud value monogamy. These relationships create their own stories and affect how you navigate the social landscape. The 10-level friendship system with NPCs similarly creates ongoing narratives as relationships deepen from acquainted through vowed, with each level potentially unlocking new dialogue, quests, and insights into characters' true natures. The hidden storyline rewards players who pay close attention and invest time in thorough exploration. The developers promise that seemingly insignificant details might prove crucial to understanding the deepest mysteries. This approach respects player intelligence and rewards curiosity, creating a world that reveals itself gradually to those willing to look beyond surface-level quests and objectives. The narrative structure follows Wuxia storytelling traditions, where individual journeys interweave with larger historical forces, where personal mysteries connect to political conspiracies, where the fate of the hero becomes inseparable from the fate of the realm. Your growth from orphaned infant to legendary martial artist seems to parallel the chaotic historical period's evolution, which could suggest that the developers see individual cultivation and societal transformation as fundamentally linked. Beyond the story, multiplayer modes, social systems, and shared adventures. While Where Winds Meet can be experienced entirely as a single-player adventure, the game offers extensive multiplayer features that transform the experience for players who choose to engage with them. The system is elegantly designed to provide options rather than mandates, allowing solo players to ignore multiplayer entirely while giving social players rich opportunities for cooperation and competition. The game uses a mode-switching system that fundamentally changes how you interact with the world. Solo mode, the default experience, presents a private instance where you control who can join you. This is the mode where main story quests progress, where your individual choices affect world state, and where you experience the narrative as your personal journey. Non-player characters populate the world normally in solo mode, creating a living environment even when playing alone. Activating co-op mode while in solo transforms your private instance into a shared space for up to 5 players total. You invite specific friends through Steam, PlayStation Network, or by generating a cross-platform code that others can use to join. In co-op mode, the host's world state is preserved, meaning quest progress belongs to the host while visitors contribute to challenges and share in certain rewards. Co-op allows you to complete side quests together, tackle world bosses, clear outposts, solve puzzles, and participate in mini-games and events as a group. Rewards in co-op mode typically exceed solo rewards, incentivizing group play for players who want to optimize progression. First-time completion rewards for side stories and campaign tasks go to all players in the session. Puzzle rewards distribute to players within a certain range of the puzzle location. Only quest items owned by the host are visible and usable, though everything returns to normal when you leave to return to your own world. Campaign dungeons represent the most challenging co-op content, scaling to accommodate either 5 or 10 players, depending on difficulty selection. These instance challenges feature powerful bosses and complex mechanics that demand coordination and communication. Successfully clearing campaign dungeons grants substantial rewards, including rare materials, powerful equipment, and progression resources. Online mode, also called MMO mode, fundamentally transforms the experience by populating the world with other players. Switching to online mode through the mode switch menu icon, which shows a bust wearing a conical hat, makes you visible to strangers and vice versa. The world becomes shared, with other players running around pursuing their own objectives. However, main story quests and standard enemies disappear in online mode, which focuses instead on social interaction and multiplayer activities. The fellowship system, accessible through the main menu wheel, provides access to various multiplayer activities. Fellowship activities grant adventure slips up to a weekly cap of 1,000, earned through participation in group content. These activities emphasize social engagement and collaborative challenges rather than story progression. The arena offers structured player versus player combat where you test skills against other players without the stakes of open-world dueling. Arena matches allow you to practice combat techniques, experiment with different builds, and compete for rankings and rewards. The controlled environment removes concerns about losing equipment or facing permanent consequences, making it appealing for players who want competition without excessive risk. World bosses become group events in online mode, with multiple players collaborating to defeat powerful enemies that drop valuable loot. These encounters create spontaneous cooperation as nearby players team up to tackle challenges too difficult to solo. Sentinel beings scattered throughout the overworld support up to 10 players battling together, creating raid-like experiences within the open world. Guild systems, implemented through fellowship mechanics, allow up to 100 players to form organized communities. Guilds provide social structure, coordination for group activities, and access to guild-specific content. Guild Wars offer 30 versus 30 battles where entire guilds clash in massive conflicts, testing both individual skill and organizational coordination. The Battle Royale mode, called Perception Forest, provides a completely different competitive experience. Players fight in a shrinking circle until only one warrior or one team remains standing. This mode translates the game's combat mechanics into a last-person standing format, offering an alternative to traditional dueling or arena combat. The crime and bounty system gains new dimensions in multiplayer contexts. If you commit crimes and get caught, you go to jail, but other players can organize prison breaks, fighting guards to free you. This creates cooperative criminal gameplay with real consequences and exciting rescue scenarios. Conversely, bounties placed on wanted players allow others to hunt them for rewards, creating organic player versus player conflicts driven by in-world actions rather than artificial matchmaking. Social activities extend beyond combat. The game features relationship systems supporting 10 friendship levels with other players, from acquainted at level 1 through vowed at level 10. Social activities grant intimacy points that raise friendship levels, unlocking new interactions and potential benefits. You can marry other players through an in-game system, with marriage providing mechanical benefits and social recognition. Some sects encourage or discourage marriage and divorce, integrating personal relationships into the broader gameplay systems. Minigames provide casual social activities. Graceful melody rhythm games let you compete for high scores. Pitch pot competitions test your arrow-tossing accuracy against friends. Gift of Gab social encounters challenge your conversational skills. These activities offer alternatives to constant combat, creating spaces for players who want to socialize without fighting. The bounty menu allows players to create and join custom challenges, generating content for each other beyond developer-created objectives. This user-generated challenge system keeps multiplayer fresh by ensuring new goals appear regularly based on community interests. Trading and economy systems allow players to exchange items, though details about trading restrictions and marketplace implementation remain somewhat limited in available documentation. The game features multiple currencies and resource types, suggesting a complex player economy could develop as the community matures. Discipleship and mentorship systems let experienced players guide newer ones, creating relationships beyond simple friendship. Teaching newer players grants rewards while helping them progress more efficiently, encouraging community building and knowledge sharing. Important restrictions apply to multiplayer modes. Main story quests remain strictly solo or co-op experiences with specifically invited players. You cannot progress the main narrative in online mode surrounded by strangers. This design choice preserves narrative coherence and prevents spoilers, ensuring your story remains personal even in an MMO-style shared world. Certain other content also restricts multiplayer participation. Taiping Mausoleum is a solo-only wave challenge mode similar to Genshin Impact's Spiral Abyss, testing individual skill against increasingly difficult enemy waves. Trials that allow you to rematch previously defeated bosses and story battles similarly require solo attempts, ensuring these challenges test personal mastery. Difficulty does not scale in co-op play. Enemy strength is based on the host's world level, meaning joining a higher-level player's world exposes you to much tougher enemies than you typically face. This can create interesting challenges as lower-level players try to contribute against enemies far above their usual opposition, but it also means parties should consider level disparities when forming groups. The flexibility of the mode system means you can seamlessly transition between solo exploration, co-op adventures with friends, and massively multiplayer social experiences without creating a new character or losing progress. Cross-progression works across all platforms, so you can play on PC one day and PlayStation the next without starting over, maintaining the same character, progress, and relationships regardless of where you log in. The multiplayer philosophy respects that different players want different experiences. Some will primarily solo, dipping into co-op occasionally for difficult bosses or to play with specific friends. Others will spend most of their time in online mode, treating the game as a massively multiplayer online role-playing game where social interaction and community are central. Both approaches are equally valid and fully supported. The social systems create opportunities for emergent storytelling. The friend who helps you defeat a challenging boss might become a regular companion. Rival players who repeatedly duel might develop grudges or mutual respect. Sect allegiances create natural factions and rivalries. Marriage and divorce systems generate drama and connection. The world becomes populated not just with developer-created content, but with player stories, relationships that form and evolve through shared experiences. This social depth extends the game's longevity far beyond the main story content. Even after completing all available narrative quests, players can pursue social goals like building guild influence, achieving arena rankings, completing player-created bounty challenges, or simply maintaining relationships with friends made in the world. The seasonal update model ensures new content regularly arrives to keep communities engaged, but the social systems provide reasons to stay involved even between major updates. The road ahead, launch, access, and the future of Where Winds Meet. Where Winds Meet launched globally on November 14, 2025, marking a significant moment for Wuxia gaming and demonstrating the international appeal of authentically Chinese game development. The game is available on PlayStation 5, PC through Steam and the Epic Games Store, and through NetEase's official launcher, with full cross-progression support, allowing you to seamlessly continue your journey across platforms. Pre-downloads became available starting November 12, 2025 at 2 p.m. Pacific Time, 10 p.m. GMT, and 11 p.m. Central European Time, giving players the opportunity to have the game ready for the global launch. The free-to-play model removes financial barriers to entry, allowing anyone with compatible hardware and an internet connection to experience the world of Where Winds Meet. The developers have committed to a no-pay-to-win philosophy, monetizing exclusively through cosmetic items and convenience features that do not create competitive advantages. All playable gameplay content, including all game modes, story quests, martial arts, and progression systems, is completely free and accessible without spending money. Players who started at launch received substantial launch rewards designed to help new characters develop and to thank early adopters for their support. These rewards included 3 exclusive outfits unavailable through other means, along with a variety of cosmetic items like accessories and emotes. Over 180 cosmetic items total were available for free through various progression systems, including over 80 outfits, over 100 accessories, and numerous emotes, decorations, and inscriptions. Progression-based rewards can be claimed as you advance through the game, ensuring regular unlocks that maintain a sense of achievement and customization options. The game achieved remarkable success at launch. Pre-registrations exceeded 10 million across platforms before release day, indicating tremendous interest in the title. Within 24 hours of global launch, over 2 million players had joined the world of Where Winds Meet. Steam concurrent player counts reached over 190,000 within days, demonstrating strong engagement and retention. These numbers build on the success of the Chinese launch in December 2024, which saw over 3 million downloads within 4 days on PC alone. The review reception has been mixed but generally positive. On PC, review aggregator Metacritic shows mixed or average reviews, suggesting the game has both strengths. On PlayStation 5, reviews skew more positive with generally favorable scores, perhaps reflecting how the controller interface and console optimization create a smoother experience. Common praise focuses on the beautiful world design, engaging combat system, and impressive scope for a free-to-play title. Criticisms often mention technical issues, particularly surrounding camera control and targeting in chaotic battles, along with concerns about certain quests feeling repetitive. The seasonal content roadmap promises ongoing expansion and evolution. Each season will last approximately 3 months, with content and thematic focus varying between seasons. Some seasons will advance the main narrative through new regions and story chapters, expanding the geographical scope and revealing more about your character's origins and the broader conspiracies at play. Other seasons will focus on introducing new gameplay modes, whether new competitive formats, cooperative challenges, or social features that enhance community interaction. Limited-time events will arrive regularly, providing temporary content with exclusive rewards to keep the world feeling dynamic. The developers have emphasized their commitment to listening to player feedback and adjusting the game based on community input. Lead designer Chris Liu stated that they continuously optimize and adjust the gaming experience based on feedback from the player community, viewing development as building the world with players, not just for them. This philosophy suggests an iterative approach where player concerns and suggestions influence the game's evolution. Known areas for potential improvement based on early player feedback include camera and targeting systems during intense battles, optimization for various PC hardware configurations, and balance adjustments for certain weapons and martial arts that feel weaker compared to popular meta choices. The developers have shown willingness to address these concerns through patches and updates, with several balance changes and quality of life improvements arriving in the weeks following global launch. The skill ceiling for combat remains a topic of community discussion. Some players find the defensive mechanics, particularly perfect parrying and dodge timing, too demanding for boss encounters, while others appreciate the challenge and skill expression these systems allow. The availability of deflection assist as an accessibility option helps bridge this gap, letting players who want story and exploration without extreme combat difficulty still enjoy the game. The game's scope continues to impress even veteran players. With over 100 hours of single-player content available at launch, not counting multiplayer activities or the time required to fully explore all regions and complete side content, Where Winds Meet offers tremendous value for a free-to-play title. The depth of the martial arts system, the variety of sects and playstyles, and the sheer size of the world ensure that players have plenty to discover even after completing the main story chapters currently available. Platform-specific features enhance the experience on different systems. The PlayStation 5 version takes advantage of the DualSense controller's haptic feedback and adaptive triggers, creating tactile feedback that reinforces the impact of strikes and the resistance of parries. The PC version supports higher frame rates and resolutions for players with powerful hardware, along with ultra-wide monitor compatibility and extensive graphics options. Cross-progression means you can experience these platform-specific enhancements without maintaining separate characters, playing on console for the controller features and switching to PC for visual fidelity as desired. System requirements for PC are moderate, with the game running on a range of hardware configurations. The developers recommend installing on an SSD drive for better loading times and streaming performance, as the open world benefits from fast storage when loading new areas or respawning after defeat. Minimum requirements allow the game to run on older systems, while recommended specifications ensure smooth performance at higher settings. The community has already begun creating extensive resources to support new players. Interactive maps track oddity locations, mystic art training spots, boundary stones, shops, boss locations, and quest triggers across both Qinghe and Kaifeng. Build guides discuss optimal weapon combinations, martial arts selections, and mystic skill loadouts for different playstyles. Sect comparison resources help players choose factions aligned with their values and preferred activities. Video content creators provide boss strategy guides, exploration tips, and showcases of advanced combat techniques. The modding community remains limited due to the online required nature of the game and the free-to-play model's reliance on consistent client versions. However, community-created tools like damage calculators, build planners, and quest trackers enhance the experience without modifying game files. The developers have not officially endorsed mods, but have not actively opposed community tools that provide information without creating unfair advantages. Looking forward, the long-term success of Where Winds Meet will depend on several factors. Continued content delivery through the seasonal model must maintain quality and interest, avoiding the staleness that plagues many live service games. The monetization model must remain fair, resisting pressure to introduce pay-to-win elements that could alienate the player base. Technical improvements addressing camera, optimization, and quality of life concerns will help retain players who might otherwise leave due to frustration. Community management and engagement will determine whether the social systems flourish or languish. The game represents an important moment for Chinese game development on the global stage. While Chinese developers have found tremendous success in mobile gaming and certain PC genres, fewer have successfully exported the Wuxia aesthetic and philosophy to worldwide audiences in a premium open-world format. Where Winds Meet's performance could influence publisher willingness to support similar projects, potentially opening doors for more culturally specific Chinese games to reach global markets. For players interested in wuxia as a genre, Where Winds Meet offers an unparalleled opportunity to experience its principles interactively. Reading Jin Yong novels or watching Hong Kong cinema classics provides excellent introduction to wuxia themes and aesthetics, but the participatory nature of gaming creates unique opportunities for embodying wuxia values, making choices about honor and pragmatism, and experiencing the internal cultivation journey central to the genre. The game serves as both entertainment and cultural education, introducing international audiences to Chinese historical periods, philosophical traditions, and storytelling approaches they might not encounter otherwise. Conclusion: Where Wind and Legend Meet. Where Winds Meet represents an ambitious fusion of historical authenticity, wuxia philosophy, and modern game design. Set during the turbulent Five Dynasties and Ten Kingdoms period of 10th century China, the game invites you to forge your own legend in a world where old orders collapse and new possibilities emerge. Through extensive exploration of 2 massive regions, with the promise of more to come, mastery of 7 distinct weapon types, each with multiple martial arts paths, cultivation of mystic abilities that blend combat utility with exploration tools, and navigation of complex social systems, including 8 philosophical sects. The game offers depth rarely seen in free-to-play titles. The combat system, choreographed by acclaimed action choreographer Stephen Tung Wai and brought to life through full-body motion capture with professional martial artists, captures the elegance and intensity of wuxia cinema. The defensive mechanics of blocking, dodging, and parrying create skill-based encounters that reward timing and awareness. The weapon variety ensures that different playstyles find expression, from the mobility-focused bell strike paths to the supportive silk bind techniques, from the aggressive bamboo cut approaches to the defensive stone split methods. The world itself stands as a character, with dynamic weather, day-night cycles, thousands of unique non-player characters, and environmental systems that create a living landscape. From the rural tranquility of Qinghe's verdant wilds to the urban density of Kaifeng City, from mountain monasteries to underground caverns, every location invites exploration and rewards curiosity. The dual-layer storytelling approach ensures that attentive players discover narrative depths beyond surface-level quests, with clues to deeper mysteries scattered throughout the world. The sect system transforms factional gameplay into philosophical commitment, where choosing or rejecting allegiance shapes not just mechanical benefits, but your character's worldview and the world's perception of you. Living according to sect precepts or embracing sectless freedom creates distinct experiences that respect player agency while maintaining meaningful consequences. The multiplayer options provide flexibility rarely seen, allowing seamless transition between solo narrative experiences, cooperative adventures with friends, and massively multiplayer social gameplay. The mode-switching system ensures you choose how to engage with the world rather than having multiplayer forced upon you or feeling isolated if you prefer solo play. The seasonal content model and the developer's commitment to community feedback suggest Where Winds Meet will continue evolving, growing the world, and refining systems based on player experiences. The free-to-play model with cosmetic-only monetization removes financial barriers, while the no-pay-to-win philosophy maintains competitive fairness. For those seeking deep combat systems that reward mastery, Where Winds Meet delivers through its weapon variety, martial arts depth, and skill-based defensive mechanics. For explorers who want rich worlds to discover, the game provides two massive regions filled with secrets, collectibles, and environmental storytelling. For social players who enjoy community interaction, the extensive multiplayer systems and guild features create spaces for connection and cooperation. For solo players who prefer narrative-driven experiences, the main story and countless side quests are described by the developers as offering over 100 hours of content without requiring any group play. Where Winds Meet succeeds in bringing Wuxia to interactive form while respecting both the genre's traditions and the needs of global gaming audiences. The game educates as it entertains, introducing players to the Five Dynasties and Ten Kingdoms period, to Confucian, Taoist, and Buddhist philosophical influences, to the aesthetic principles that define Wuxia, and to the moral complexity characteristic of the genre's best stories. It proves that culturally specific games can find worldwide audiences when executed with quality and passion. Whether you approach Where Winds Meet as an action game with extensive combat challenges, as an open-world exploration title with rich environments to discover, as a role-playing experience offering character customization and meaningful choices, or as a social platform for connecting with friends and building communities, the game provides the systems and content to support your preferred style. The flexibility of design ensures that different players can extract different values from the same world. The story of a mysterious orphan growing into a legendary warrior mirrors the game's own journey from regional Chinese release to global phenomenon. Both demonstrate that with skill, dedication, and authentic vision, it is possible to transcend origins and achieve recognition across cultures. Where Winds Meet invites you to write your own legend in a world that remembers and responds to your choices, to walk your own path, whether that leads to heroism, chaos, or something in between, and to discover what kind of warrior you become when the winds of change blow through the realm. If you enjoyed this deep exploration of Where Winds Meet and want to see more extensive lore videos about the games you love, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Your support allows me to continue creating these comprehensive guides. Drop a comment below sharing which sect you plan to join, what weapon calls to you, or what aspects of the game interest you most. I read every comment and love hearing about your experiences. Until next time, this is Grandpa Ben reminding you that legends are not born, they are forged through the choices we make and the paths we walk. May your journey through the martial world be filled with discovery, and may the winds always blow in your favor.